Today I'm going to talk about how to solve a one-step inequality. Okay, an inequality or solving a one-step inequality is exactly like solving a one-step equation. There's just a couple more things that you have to do. So let's go ahead and try one, and I'll show you the difference between a one-step equation and a one-step inequality. Okay, an example of a one-step inequality would look like this. Okay. It looks exactly like an equation. If we were to change this inequality to an equal sign, we would know how to solve that. So we are going to solve it just like that. Okay, so 3x, it says 3x is less than or equal to 18. So we're just going to solve this normally like we would. So we're going to start on the side with the variable. Okay, and the variable is involved in multiplication operation. So we're going to use the opposite operation of multiplication, and we're going to divide. Okay? 3x divided by 3 gives us just 1x. So x is all by itself, which is exactly what we want. And then what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So we divide it on the left. We're going to divide on the right. Okay? 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, then we bring down our inequality, less than or equal to. Okay, x is less than or equal to 6. Okay, so we've done everything exactly the same. Okay, the one thing that we're going to do that's going to take this a step further is something that we've already done. Okay, and that is that we're going to graph this inequality to show visually what x could be. X could be less than 6 and it could be 6. So we want to show that visually. So if you remember, we draw our graph. Okay, we put 0 in the middle. We put 6 on the number line on the correct side. We draw our circle. In this case, it's closed, okay, because x could be 6, x is equal to 6, or x is anything less than 6, okay? And our trick, if you remember, make this into an arrow, should point the same direction. And the reason that that works is because the variable is on the left side, okay? We always want to write the variable first. Okay, that's a one-step inequality. Okay, it's exactly like solving an equation, and at the end we graph the inequality. Okay, it's two things we already know how to do. Now we're just doing it. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, we're going to solve the inequality and then we're going to graph the inequality again. So let's do 20 is less than x minus 15. 20 is less than x minus 15. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on the side with the variable. Okay, the right side has the variable. Okay, and the variable is involved in subtraction. So we're going to add 15. Okay, that ends up being 0 because they're opposite. Okay, what we did to one side, we need to do to the other. So we're going to add 15. This ends up being 35. So if we take it down in order, we have 35 less than x. Okay, now the biggest thing that you have to do with inequalities is you have to write this in the correct order. Okay, so the x, we always want the x to come first. So we're going to put the x here and the 35 here. With an inequality, we want to make sure that the inequality points to the same thing when we flip it. So in this case, it pointed to the 35. If we made this into an arrow, it would point to the 35. We're going to flip it when we flip everything so that it reflects the same thing as it did before, just with the x on the left side. So make sure that you flip the inequality when you flip the whole thing. Okay? That needs to make sense, okay? Because if you don't flip it, your graph will be incorrect. Okay? The last step that we do then is we graph the inequality. So we draw our number line, put 0 in the middle, 35 goes on the right side because it's positive. It's an open circle because it's not, x is not equal to, it's greater than, but it's not equal to 35. So x can't be 35, but x can be anything greater than 35. Okay. Now just remember when we drew graphs, when we graphed inequalities, you do not need to put a bunch of numbers on here. You need to put 0 in the middle and then the number that's shown on the graph. That's it. Okay. On Khan Academy, on iExcel, they have a bunch of numbers on there. That's fine, okay? But I'm not asking you to put a bunch of numbers on there. I just need 0 and I need 35. Okay? Solving a one-step inequality is just like solving a one-step equation. Okay? It's just that at the end we want to graph the inequality to show what x could be visually. Okay? Remember, if x is on the right side, when you bring everything down in order, okay, we brought 35 down, we brought the inequality down, we brought the x down, okay? We want the x to be on the left, so when you flip it, you need to flip the inequality as well. Okay, you need to flip the inequality as well. Okay, make sure that makes sense. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Okay, and make sure you share your notes with me when you're done.